Hello, comrades. Welcome to Digital Air Entertainment's YouTube channel. We are live, I believe. I hope so. This is apologies for any technical issues, comrades, but welcome to the channel. This is also NeoIvan from NeoIvan Gaming's first YouTube anything outside of the video I posted many years ago. But yes, welcome to the channel. I am joined tonight by Digital Era Entertainment's founder, EMP Maniac, also known as Mario Bueno, also known as the guy who still owes me $5.
I will have you know, I said this before. I totally paid you back that $5. We are totally square on that. But yep, it is once again another wonderful dynamic duo night for us. Looking forward to playing this game. It has been a very interesting day, to say the least. And we'll get more into the actual game proper once we fire it up. As you probably noticed at the top of the screen, we are once again reminding you to check out that particular site, blacklivesmatters.carrd.co. My particular copy of the game, as is mentioned in the description, was acquired through Ichio's bundle for racial justice and equality. So we felt it would be appropriate, especially considering the other set of circumstances that has us doing this stream on the YouTube channel as opposed to our regular Twitch channel, that we should kind of remind you that this is still an ongoing thing and there are still ways for you to educate yourself, educate others, and find ways and resources to help. So just keeping that in mind as we play this literally revolutionary game in very revolutionary times. Do you have anything else you want to add, NeoIvan? Because it's first off great to have you, back into the rotation. We did miss you. We're glad to have you back. Anything you'd like to say before we jump into the streets filled with rage?
Oh, I'm always ready to riot, but yeah, we do here at Digital Era Entertainment. We do like to be aware and conscious and spread as much justice as we possibly can for the platform. And we wish that the call for a blackout was done a little bit earlier, only as so, well, the blackout on Twitch is for a very good cause. I personally am all for it. It's just it could have been done just a tad bit better, but the cause is just, and we are here in solidarity on YouTube and not on Twitch tonight. And always try to keep an open mind, comrades. Always try to learn and understand why Black Lives Matter, why the issue of sexual abuse in the gaming industry, in particular in Twitch, why that matters to women and men, why that matters. We're here to try to keep the discussion going, or the discussion, and we want to be in solidarity as much as possible. But yeah, I'm ready to riot.
All right. So without further ado, let's get this underway. We definitely wanted to get our personal thoughts out there because one of the things I really like about this game that we're about to play, the opening really kind of sets the mood, sets the scene, and it is just so timely. I didn't want you guys to miss a minute of it. So without further delay, let's riot.
Ooh. This is the first time I've ever seen this, so ooh, Means Interactive. Are they sponsored by Means TV? Oh yeah, that's right. Means TV had a hand in this, I think. Fact. Also a fact. Hey, it's the Joker. Boat face, I love it. Boat face. I love it. It's very real for our time. In fact, it's been real for a very long time. It's just a lot of us have.
God, I love this soundtrack. Like that's some hard synth. I love it. Like it really just sets the mood here. And to your point, yes, this was done by an offshoot of Means TV. Means Interactive is a subsidiary of theirs. I just learned that actually today when I was preparing our social media over on Instagram as well as Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. So I thought you would be very amused to learn that fact if you weren't already aware. And then, even more timely, this game dropped like maybe about 20 days before the initial protests began in the wake of the George Floyd incident. Like, it's insane how timely this particular release was. So
yeah. And I don't mean to toot their horn, comrades, but Means TV is an awesome bunch of dudes and ladies who are coming at you from a Marxist perspective, but also the founder of Means TV was the guy who made NeoIvan so long ago.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
I believe that's true, but take it with a grain of salt because I heard it from the internet, so that may or may not be true. But
I mean, considering the influences of the game we're about to play, yeah, that sounds pretty appropriate if you think about it. Just making sure, NeoIvan, are you connected over on your end? So you're still set?
I see the menu screen. I do believe we are ready. For those who are confused, we are not playing together. We are, not in the same shared space. We are doing it digitally over different computers from our respective homes because, again, there's a pandemic outside our houses.
Yeah, and this game, while it is available on digital platforms, because it is very much an indie game in the most traditional spirit of indie games, it basically requires a third-party co-op play client to run. So yeah, a lot of firsts for us tonight over here at Digital Era Entertainments. I almost said Twitch because I'm just so used to live broadcasting there on our YouTube channel. So and thanks again to everybody who is dropping by to join us tonight.
Yeah, and if you like us doing this here on YouTube, let us know. Give us a comment, like, do the shares, do the things that all the other YouTubers say. Because we need to get this out of the way now, because it's boring when we say it later.
Also, we're going to be rioting, and when we get to rioting, oh, buddy. So, full disclosure, I have actually played at least a few maps on this game when I wanted to just try it out and see how much fun it would be for a stream.
Let's dive into it.
Yeah.
Go. Let's just roll.
NeoIvan is going in clean.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. So we are beginning with Factory Town Level 1-1. You can already see the retro influence on this game's sleeve. I'm going to clam up so you can check out this next bit.
Oh, this reminds me so much of... yeah. Oh, God. Why does this guy look like the Joker?
So, yeah. You ready to riot?
I am, but again, why does this guy look like the Joker way too much? Like before, he got dipped in chemicals.
Greetings, comrades. Welcome to the Factory Town. Okay, so have you had a chance to check out your button prompts?
I have no button prompts.
Oh dear. Well, I'm gonna work these guys if I can.
So I'm not playing on a controller.
You are in the game, however, yes?
Yeah, I see myself at the bottom there.
Hello. Or should I say, da?
Hello, skis. Yes. How do?
Yeah, let me know if you need a moment to get your bearings.
Well, I can't even put up the menu, so I think you are in complete control over this.
Alrighty. So let's take a tour of the factory town.
I can't even move. Hold on. Can you bring up the menu screen just to see if player 2 can have some control over something?
Absolutely.
I'll do. Oh, it's a mouse space. WAS is move and shift. Okay.
Also, while we're here, let's turn down our audio a little bit. I thought I had turned it down plenty, but apparently not. All right.
Nope.
You are still experiencing difficulties.
The controls are not responsive.
My God.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because either way, we are still connected, correct? So you're still seeing me running around here?
I still see you running around. I just cannot do anything. My character cannot do anything at this moment. Well, I could be pushed.
Go, comrade! We push blocks!
Oh god, I'm human meat shield.
Comrade meat shield!
Oh no. Well. Yeah, I think I'm going to be a liability here. Do you want to just restart? And since you have the controls, why don't you take us through and we'll just commentate?
We could do that too.
Yeah, I have nothing. So.
Alright, so you do see the main menu, however.
Yes, go to options.
Yeah, it just gives me that for connectivity options.
I'm seeing that as well, but I can't. Well, we don't want to spend all the time we have troubleshooting, so why don't you play and I'll just. You are the Aaron Hansen, and I'm the Dan Avidan. Except I
was gonna say. Though the hairstyles are flipped, that is a fair assessment. All right, so I'll actually restart from the beginning so that everyone can get a fair shake, as is the way of the revolution.
Okay. Well, that's awesome! Yay. Also, love that you're a person of color. That's awesome. There's only one way: direct action. Press the right trigger to use a weapon.
Yep. We're busting some boxes.
As long as one of us survives, the revolution will live on. Absolutely.
Actually, bring down the audio levels because as much as I'm really enjoying this. There we go.
Yeah.
Take that, trash can.
Oh, what have you got against Oscar the Grouch? All he wants to do is sleep in his little thingamadoo. Hey, a drone. That looks friendly.
Yep. Here's a hint. It's not. Oh. Would you look at that? Oh no! Tear gas!
There you go. That's proper rioting.
Oh, our comrade has fallen.
No.
We will have to avenge our comrade. That didn't accomplish much, but man, did it feel good. All right, let's do this.
Nice.
Oh, that's an interesting name for a building.
Shackle? Yeah, yeah.
Again, they really like double down on the atmosphere here.
Workers of the world, unite. Let's liberate a building. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a factory. Hell yeah.
Take that. Vehicle of the authority, I guess.
I do love the colors of the flag. It reminds me a lot of the Vietnamese flag.
Oh no.
Oh, a water cannon. That's bad. Taste my fist.
Taste my fist of justice. Proletariat shall not be oppressed.
No, no more. The music is so good. Oh, Molotov cocktail time.
Alright, here we go. So I can cycle through these. I can actually save these for a bit later because... Oh, right. I also have my wrench.
Hey, I'll fix your car over here.
Literally going to throw a monkey wrench into the capitalist machine.
Mm-hmm. As you should. Hammerhead payday loans. Oh god. That's oh, fun
Takes
fact.
the wrench of justice.
Fun fact about the protests. There have been photographs of cops leaving behind a huge amount of bricks in obvious places in order to entice people to get them and then throw them and give the police a reason to come in there.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that because when I saw that random bricks were a weapon that you can use in this game, I was actually thinking to some of the informative memes that were going around on that very topic. Because yeah, it would be pretty suspect. even as a generally law-abiding citizen, I would just be kind of like, yo, are you just like setting people up here? Because come on, man.
Yeah, and you're also the police. You have qualitative immunity from basically everything. So it's just like...
Oh yeah, about those drones.
Hiya.
Yeah! Oh, sorry, fellow workers. Let's brick these suckers. Yeah!
Nice.
Liberate! Yeah, it's also interesting because yesterday I actually watched just on a lark this National Geographic documentary about the LA riots from 1992. As you probably would be able to relate to as well, we were very young when those riots took place, so like we had an idea of what a big deal it was, but like having the full context.
Area liberated. The revolution has begun. But you were going on with you were saying with the Rodney King beating.
Yeah, the documentary itself is basically bookmarked by riots that happened in Los Angeles back in the 60s, 1965 to be specific. And it's funny because I knew about the general civil discourse and disobedience going on as a result of the civil rights movement at the time, but never like some of the specifics of something like the LA situations in the 60s. And it was mind-blowing. These documentary filmmakers really just hammered home the point of just how cyclical all this is. Like, you look at the instances that led to the 1992, well, the 1965 riot in LA, which was far more limited than what we saw in 1992, and just how the situation in 1992 was basically the same thing. And you look at what we're dealing with now in 2020, while it is leagues more it's just unbelievable to me that there's been just such a repetitive cycle that has never really fully been fixed. Like, I've thinking about this quite a bit, especially when we began our week of, really directing people to the website at the top of the screen. But it was one of those things that really reinforced how flabbergasted I've been with just how cyclical the whole situation is. Like, again, if you have Hulu, go check it out. It's called LA 92. It's a National Geographic documentary. It's part of a spotlight that they have on black cinema and black culture, specifically related to civil rights movements. It's a worthwhile 2 hours of your time. Great documentary. It's a rough watch, though. I'm not gonna lie, but that's kind of the point. Like, it really hammers home a lot of uncomfortable truths that I think more people really need to kind of get acquainted with.
And on that note of uncomfortable truths, another uncomfortable truth that we all have to get away from that gas station. No!
Oh my God! Oh no!
Oh, it's the counter pro agent. Counter pro. Get him!
Oh no!
Get him!
Oh no, my comrades!
The J. Edgar Hoover's ghost came back.
Oh,
he lived for you, you bastard!
This is very uncomfortable.
Oh my God! You killed the revolution! You bastard!
This is so fellow revolutionaries. I just want you to know
Ignore
those corpses.
what happened outside.
Ignore those corpses.
Everything's okay.
Everything's good. Just go kick the corpses of the authority, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna blow up this car. Just stay away from the car. Stay away from the car. Oh my God.
My point before Mario decided to go complete full-on psychopath.
Oh boy.
My point is that when you look at the context of the history of the United States and you go back in time 60 years, you have to ask yourself, what has really changed? Before you answer that question, then go back even further, a further 60 years, and ask what has changed since 100 years ago, plus 20, 120 years ago. And then you go even further back, and what has really changed since Civil War, and so on, and so on. And there was something in a movie I watched. There was this trailer for a TV show about time travel. I don't remember what it's called, but I remember something very well. There was an African American character, and it's time travel. So he goes, "I'm not going with you guys." And the white lady, who's the lead of the show, I'm going to assume protagonist, so why not? And he goes, "I'm black. What part of American history is good for me?" And that quote should tell you something about this. Now, yes, there are instances of many people of color who do, quote unquote, make it. And by that, I mean they are able to pass. And I don't mean by the color of their skin or anything like that. I mean they're able to pass. They are able to gather wealth. They're able to win the capitalist rat race and be able to become wealthy. Yay, we won again. Congratulations. Good job. Outside of your horrendous murder.
F in the chat for our comrades.
Unnecessary.
Oh boy.
But there's
a big F in the chat.
Like one such example would, of course, for our purposes, be someone like Michael Jordan. Fantastic athlete,
also,
but I learned
I'm just going to let you continue as I quickly nibble on a caffeine snack.
Yeah, Michael Jordan, and if you want, Oprah Winfrey as well. Though with Michael Jordan, as much as a fantastic athlete as he is, I've heard he was actually a piece of shit, personally. And according to the website, the Black Agenda Report, which I recommend all you lovely comrades to go check out, especially if you're of the more lighter persuasion, a Caucasian, to help you get your eyes open a little bit. If you want, of course. No one's going to force you. But I feel like I rambled. But those individuals can make it, can be included into the club, as George Carlin would call it. And from there, they become they forget where they came from. They forget the circumstances and the material conditions of their beforehand lives. And of course, there are tons of anecdotes. There's tons of stories of African American people of color families who don't get harassed, etc. But the statistics and the overall conditions of the people of color's communities are awful. They're awful in this country's history.
I would also like to take a quick aside, just to point out, if you're looking at the headline for this next level, there is so much to really take in here, because going back to what NeoIvan was just talking about, and also bringing it back to the documentary I was mentioning about the LA riots, it's just absolutely baffling to see the excessive amount of force that got put onto communities that are essentially just getting by, really. And the way that it is presented, well, especially the way it was presented in 1992, certainly it's a different story in 2020, because we have a lot more voices in the conversation, so we're able to get much more a much more honest account of what's going on, rather than the very closed off traditional media that was available at the time. Seeing this, it's just like like rubber bullets humanely bring order to the city. There was a lot of that kind of rhetoric even in 1992 when talking about how they were trying to get it under control, and certainly there were definitely some heinous acts committed during the course of the riots that went completely counter to the very justifiable anger that was being expressed. But when you look at the responses, it's just
well,
especially in 2020, like this is so timely.
the best thing about today's media, about today's setting compared to 1992, was that really awful New York City labor union, police union leader complaining and being the most awful snowflake you could imagine, while also having footage interspliced with the beatings given out by his own officers. That is the thing. As Mario was saying, his narrative can be directly challenged through individuals taking all that footage, putting it into a video, and setting it loose like a carrier pigeon into the digital world. Oh no, puppies are there.
Pupper! An attack pupper!
Yay! Hey, it's Cosmo! Give him hell, Luke. Give him hell.
Yeah, no, and even in 1992, one of the things that... Oh, God!
Good dog. Good dog. That is a dog for the revolution.
Yeah, you think, with the amount of evidence that was presented, and when you look at it, even compared to 2020 with social media, it was one of those instances of when you look at how the police chief in Los Angeles responded to the whole thing, there was this very uncomfortable defiance that he presented the city council with, and one of the city council members in one of the pieces of footage they show straight up asked him, he's like, "Are you threatening us?" And he takes this very offended tone, like, "Oh, how dare you, sir? I'm exactly. It's like, nah, dude, like, your body language and the way that you are acting right now is very clearly contrary to that."
Yeah, it's exactly like the police union rep or head in NYPD recently. It's the exact. It's the mentality of us versus them, which is what is here, which is what the cops do. And yeah, take that. Oh, those poor comrades. Man, these rubber bullets sure are deadly. Are we sure they're rubber?
I feel like that's definitely some level of commentary.
Yeah, but it's also just like, look at what the police are doing today as well. They are attacking not just the protesters, but they are attacking members of the press. They are attacking politicians who are with the protesters. They are throwing even their own allies to the ground, like that old white man in Buffalo who was giving a helmet to a police officer. He was thrown to the freaking ground.
Over here, comrades, go!
And I mean, it's unfortunate, but also the idea, it's unfortunate that I have to say this, but beforehand, I think people were just like content to sit back and be like, oh, this is a person of color protest. This doesn't involve, like, you know, other members of other communities. But no, when that white old man was thrown to the ground in a brutal fashion.
Oh no!
It was, oh no.
Man has won. We'll try it again.
Ooh. But yeah, it's the police are unfortunately just well, capitalist police in this country are very much just not your friend. They've never been your friend. It's just only nowadays that people are we can see that, and we can show that to the, well, not that we can't see it. We can now display it properly with social media. That's what I was trying to get at. And it's horrible, it's scary, but, and I say this as someone of privilege who is white and who has never had anything other than friendly interactions with the police, but I know better. Because I had friendly interactions does not mean my friends do not. And when you look at the historical pattern, I mean, the police came from the slave capture patrols. That's literally where they came from. How the United States' local police forces were modeled after. And no one wants to talk about that because it's very uncomfortable, because where did all those slaves have to be captured and sent back to? This little place of America called the South, which later became the Confederacy. And speaking of people who love participation trophies, like, so many things lasted longer than the Confederacy, and so many things were better than the Confederacy.
The Decepticons have a better track record than the Confederacy.
I don't know about that, but I understand your point.
Listen, Megatron can at least say he got one win. One big win. Even though it got retconned because, you know, 80s cartoons.
Oh no, what is happening now? Why is this shaking? Did the police bring out a mech? Is it Ed 209?
Hopefully we can liberate some more comrades. Yes, we can.
Yay. Oh, your comrades count as your lives. That's cool.
Sure
that's great.
Gotta protect my comrades.
Get him. Oh, the police actually aided in tipping it over. Yay.
Oh no, my comrades. They're very dead.
I'm glad that they have friendly fire on them. Oh, you're right there.
Yeah.
Get him. Good job.
Well, I would say leaves a lot to be desired. F in the chat for the comrades.
They said in the beginning, when one of us survive, the revolution survives. Oh, man, this game is pretty hardcore. I love it.
Yeah, and you see why I was really excited to have this featured on your block. I genuinely am so sad that for whatever reason we're not able to do the proper co-op, but nonetheless.
Next week.
Speaking of Ed 209, oh no. Oh no!
Wow, I freaking called it.
Oh.
Cold metal claws bring hot justice to the streets.
Oh great, I've got to play freaking Metal Gear for the revolution.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But you can see why we both said that the issue of policing and issues of people of color is uncomfortable, because it forces people to actually look at the history, to look at everything and be like, hey, this is shit. And
more importantly, like, look at how recent and how close between in terms of historical occurrences we've seen. You know, there's these very substantial civil rights movements. You know, the 1960s, the 1990s. Now, this is lifetimes to us as people who are living it in real time, that so little has changed. Because going back to the juxtaposition that is presented in LA 92, the only real difference between 1965 and 1992 is that in 1965 you get the news reports and even some of the excerpts of the screenings, and the only real change is how casually the N-word is used, and in its both in its previously socially accepted format, as well as its perpetually problematic format, and that was upsetting. And even the documentary goes to great lengths to show you how the city makes a lot of progress in between the 60s and the 90s, but there is still so much that remains unchanged. And when you look at it from the lens of thinking, oh well, certainly should have learned something from that, right? Nope. And one of the things that came up during the Riot trial, which I thought was very, very unsettling when you look at what's going on, even in just the last 4 or 5 years in America.
Yeah, might want to use some Molotovs for this one.
Yeah, one of the, I think it was a sergeant who was in charge of the officers. Talks about how chokeholds had become recognized as a general killer of black women by the cops. So like they weren't using it because of bar reasons, essentially. And that particular excerpt just really stung, because I'm like, wow, they saw it like that, and yet here we are. It has still been implemented, in other police precincts across the country, and it's still having that same kind of flippance by the people who are using it, like that unapologetic, well, we're just trying to do our job mentality. And I have a lot of takes, because much like you, and I apologize that it's to the detriment of my gameplay here, but with much like you, I too have been fortunate enough to put positive interactions with law enforcement. That's why, generally speaking, I've been able to carry a favorable impression. Obviously, I'm well aware of all the negative things. I very clearly wasn't aware of some of the dark history of law enforcement, though that is, partially due to how history is taught, because you're not going to teach all of this stuff along with all the even though objectively
Call in some comrades. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, if I can get to them. So that being said,
Well, that kind of a question is impossible to answer without looking at the deeper problems of why it can't be performed. And these struggles, as you've said, 1990, 1960, 1930, 1900, etc., etc. These things, it's because the police are their own separate entity, and they are their own interests. They protect property more than they protect people's lives. And what were slaves?
Actually, on the episode of our Thursday podcast, which you can check out, I believe it was episode 5 of the podcast, if you want to look it up, either on our website, digitallyreentertainment.com, or over on iTunes, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. Gino actually covered that very nicely, especially in regards to so we definitely got into that ground during an episode.
There you go. Hit that. There we go.
But yeah, it definitely equates to, in many cases, very ingrained systematic issues, and it's very it does make it very complicated to attack, but it's one of the benefits, again, of our contemporary society is stuff like social media, you know, is this this unfettered, mostly unfettered access to things like, you know, documentaries, to you know, websites that have information to share and educate. You know, Wikipedia, if even if that had been a thing back in like the 90s, could you imagine how much of an impact that would have for, you know, really like the walks of life, when all they have to do is just, you know, open up their phone, or, you know, go to the local library and use a
yeah, no, it would have been
access.
Absolutely. That's one of the more positive things. Man, well, I'm gonna shift away from and like try to think of what ways to help you out here.
Yeah.
It seems the Molotovs do much more damage to the gun dudes.
Yeah, because he's got the
he bashed his head in.
But I'm also trying not to torture myself there.
Don't torture yourself there, bud. Aw. Man, this game is brutal, which is on point, because this whole business is very brutal. Ow, ow, ow. Brick to the face. I bequeath to you.
A brick. Yeah. Oh man, I could definitely use some comrades.
So unsettling that guy looks like the Joker. Man, I wish I was able to help you here.
Yeah, I mean, we can definitely try it again. I'm just wondering what could be preventing the connection, because it sounded like we were able to have the live, or the connection through the client, even though we acquired our copies of the game through two different means.
Well, let me look it up. There we are.
There we go. All right, comrades, let's not mess around with this shit.
Yeah, that might be it. You might just have to throw all the Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, you should be a little bit more conservative, because I see the boss fights is going to
I don't blame you, but oh man. And this is all that the people have at this stage. Like, we may have...
Ooh. Okay, so, I guess the aggro stance was probably not the best one either.
But you did kill most of them, so... I think that you're on the right track.
On the right track to revolution.
You know, it's actually funny. While I was in Virginia, I was reading a book called Splintered Empires, the Eastern Front, 1917 to 1921, and I couldn't believe how quickly everything basically just turned into a huge cluster F for the Russian imperial government in 1917. And also, one other interesting thing is, unlike in this game, the Soviet, and by that I mean the communists and their allies, who were the workers and whatnot that agreed with them, and the soldiers, they had access to the armories. So they had guns right from the get-go. And another thing that was interesting, you know how we read in history classes about how the provisional government was the government? Not true. The Soviet was the one truly in charge. Oh, was that something that said so much for the intolerant left? Was that a so much for the intolerant left joke?
Oh, Lord.
Or was it, so much for the tolerant left? But yeah, it's, how to do this? It's hard to do this while also on my phone, while also, Co-op troubleshoot. There you go.
That helps. All right, I got a couple more comrades.
That did seem to work.
Last year. Oh, jeez.
Okay. It looks like the... Okay.
Oh.
There you go. It seems that the actual riot cops are easier to handle if you can... It's these rubber bullet bastards that are the problem.
Yep.
There you go. Okay.
Sure. Comrades, go there. I will try to distract this thing. I guess. I don't know.
I'm having no luck. All right, boys. We got to keep life in the market strong. You could probably ignore those cars.
Nope. Gotta get revenge on my comrades.
Tip them over. Well, you did it. You got past this point. Good job. Are there checkpoints? I hope there are checkpoints. Because that would suck if they didn't.
Yeah.
Get him, get him, get him. But it's okay. These are just plain old riot cops with shields. I love how, despite how simplistic this game is, it really works.
Oh yeah. Again, that's one of the things that, from a gameplay level, made me very excited to feature this one. It just, again, has the added bonus of being, like, a very NeoIvan friendly kind of game. Especially because that's as all of our viewers who are either watching this live or on demand via YouTube probably figured out, you know, this is one of your areas of expertise. So, you know, while we like to quip about you being the Soviet space cowboy, this is definitely a topic and just a general field that you are very passionate about. So, very glad to have you as my info on this particular run.
Oh God, Metal Gear.
And speaking of running, oh God.
That's a nice means of production you got there. It's a shame if someone seized it. I love it. Have you ever fought a boss?
Nope, this is my first boss. Oh God.
These two are doing okay. All the Molotovs. It's on fire. That'll work.
Those means. Oh God. Oh God, my comrades. They're getting seized by the underfoot of this means of production. Oh God. Oh
yeah,
God.
It's just you. You can do it. I believe in you. You did it. Oh, well, you did something. You're doing it. You got it. Just stay away from a stomp.
Literally being crushed underfoot.
Hey, you did it. Yay. Good job, buddy.
Yay.
Good job, comrade. Good job. Fun fact, everyone. Comrade literally translates to friend.
The more you know. Yay, I've liberated the thing.
Now, if only you could actually get guns from that, because then the revolution would be a little bit more dangerous. Although that kind of escalates the revolution quite a whole lot. But I mean, at this point, it's going back to the 1970s. I definitely agree after reading a few things. The Black Panthers were right. And that the African Americans and people of color need to be armed and need to form self-defense committees. But a lot of what Hollywood has done has been to completely destroy the image of what the Black Panthers really are. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the YouTube video by a Renegade Cut about Forrest Gump, but I highly recommend you, comrades, watch it. It's very good. I've been meaning to send that video to you, Mario, but the Black Panther Party was never about African-American only groups. They were all about helping their communities. And that included people who were white or Asian or Hispanic. They taught Marxism. They were getting food to their distributed to their communities. and most of their members by the late 70s or towards their twilight years were women, not men. And their approach
that
was very...
actually was one very pronounced thing about the Black Panthers, which is very interesting. So I do appreciate that you called that out.
Yeah, and their approach was more aligned to what Bernie Sanders in the 2020 campaign was trying to do, or what Jesse Jackson wanted to do, create a coalition between the people of color proletariat and the white working class proletariat. Because, and this is also interesting, William Z. Foster, member and eventual leader of the United States Communist Party in the 1930s, or rather, this is more about the Communist Party of this country rather than he himself, but I'll get to him in a minute. They had a campaign slogan, the Communist Party did, in the 1930s that was actually very successful in converting Klansmen, you heard me right, Klansmen, from renouncing their Klansman membership and joining the Communist Party. It was basically the communists in the South, and there's a book called Hammer and Hoe. I can't remember the author, but it goes into detail about how the Communist Party worked very hard, especially in the South, to educate and arm and protect people of color. And their campaign slogan was, I don't want to quote it exactly because it's a phrase that is, although not as offensive as the gamer word, it skates on it. I'm not going to do it. So, black and white unite and fight.
Huh.
And William Z. Foster in 1940, his vice presidential candidate was an African-American man. That name escapes me, and William Z. Foster was very much in favor of black liberation. Now, don't quote me on anything here because I have not read up on black liberation movements. I want to, and I'm going to, but I think it's a different kind of integration into white society. And by that, I mean in society in general, because even by today's standards, people of color are still second-class citizens. It's just become so subtle now, unless it's what's that movie? Them or They? The one with the glasses, Roddy Piper. If I'm not making any sense, please let me know so I can try to clarify. I don't want to be communist yells at cloud.
Well, to be fair, it's about to be socialist uprising yells at giant flying laser fists. So.
Oh, well, I didn't even look at it. I didn't even look at the newspaper.
Oh no, I was just waiting because you gave me some good transitions, but I didn't want to interrupt the history lesson essentially because this is very good information, especially because I imagine, you know, a lot of this stuff is again, like I was saying before, things that you wouldn't normally be able to come across in a generalized history course. It requires, you know, kind of this added level of study. That, you know, really brings out a lot more than what you would get even in the best of general education systems.
Yeah, I mean, we went to a very good school. Do you think Uncle Jerry would have taught us the history of the United States Communist Party? I don't think so.
No, he was very unfiltered about a lot of stuff. Like, it was actually thanks to him that I really, you know, that was my awakening to, you know, the truth about Columbus. You recall you had the same history teacher as well, so you know you can vouch when I say he had some strong takes.
He did, and I was
grateful for that. I was actually lamenting just the other day, and I apologize to everybody who's just sitting there like, oh, okay, guys. Like,
can we get to the gameplay?
Can we get to the punchy and the smashy?
Let's actually get to that, and we can talk.
Yeah, well, because I know I'm going to get, like, ruined if I don't get these thoughts out, and I try to do that while I'm doing a boss fight. One thing I was recently lamenting was how, even in that particular educational establishment, which I felt, you know, we did get a very strong, very robust sense of history, there were some, you know, genuine blind spots that I would have appreciated having covered back then, so that I could have been, you know, a lot more... I wouldn't have had to be, you know, quote-unquote days old to have learned, you know, stuff as important as what happened in Tulsa a century ago, the true significance of Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that. I find it sad that a TV show on premium cable, no less, was what educated the bulk of America about this whole thing. I'm, of course, talking about HBO's Watchmen series. And then, Juneteenth. I had heard it mentioned as a very important day in Black history, but no one had ever really taken the time to explain it. And it was because of, more recent celebrations of it that I was finally able to really learn. And I was pissed. I was pissed that it took this long for me to learn something that important. Yeah. I felt it was one of the rare times that, the system that I thought was very well-rounded had actually failed me. And I felt bad because I felt like, again, it wasn't it wasn't like a knowing malicious failure, especially when compared to certain educational curriculums across our own country. Certainly not, but it felt like an oversight that could have been easily corrected, especially given the way that especially in our 11th grade history course, we really took time to look at Black history in New York City in particular. So that was one of those opportunities. I would have thought, hey, this would have been great to learn about Juneteenth. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into this new level now.
Yeah, I'm going to take some aggression out on corporate robots.
Yeah. And also another...
We got to wreck some shit.
Yeah, for real. Also, another thing that you just reminded me of with that establishment. Oh, the houses. Oh, God. The houses.
Oh, dear.
The houses of Mech. The board has decided to be more valuable to the shareholders if you were dead.
Oh, God. Oh, God, why?
Oh, wow, they are quite literally, this is like a Mega Man villain.
I don't have enough Molotovs for this crap.
Oh, you gotta hit the hands. You gotta bite the hand.
Oh my God, this is like straight up Super Smash Brothers. This is straight up Super Smash Brothers nonsense right here. This is the master hand and the crazy hand.
This is Sigma from Mega Man X.
Oh my God.
That's awesome. I love this. That's really clever. I really like that they used the house. Ooh, bricks.
Thanks, Kings of Capitalism.
Which, but getting back to the point about our establishment that we learned.
I'm going to be a little bit occupied, trying not to die.
No, that's very fair. That's really fair. What I was going to say is, you concentrate. Oh, save your comrades. Our school was, you wrecked that hand. You wrecked that hand with justice. Justice. Just don't shout, Martha. You'll attract unwanted attention. Although Soviet Superman right now would be very handy. Yay! Take that.
Do that before you go on. Oh, hold on.
Factory Town was liberated from oppression, giving the workers something. By taking direct action and ceasing the means of production, they'd taken their first steps toward real revolution. You call this a victory? Enjoy your ruins, you fools!
Is it really bad that I want to read his lines as Poker?
I was actually trying to go for that, but I went into Joker voice.
Alright, if we have more dialogue from the CEO, I'll happily take that off your hands.
Sure. My point was, before I forget, was we went to a very prestigious school funded literally by bourgeois people, by the bourgeoisie. So this is not me being a tinfoil hat person here, comrades. This is me literally, the school is funded by the bourgeoisie. Therefore, why would they want to go into such details about U.S. history that shows it to not be the city on the shining beacon or whatever it is on the hill? And you can jump into the next level. Leaderless cowards defect. Nice. All right, so we're in bootlicker territory. Uh-oh, we got Australia.
Cut these down to size.
Oh God, they got chainsaws. Looks like some of these workers are done licking boots. Hell yeah. Blot bros.
Oh dear.
Oh no, there's they got bulldozers. Man, I tell you what. Oh, let me also give you comrades some more history. Where do you think the term redneck came from? I'm actually asking you, Mario.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was actually waiting for you to finish that particular point. I'm getting a feeling that it probably isn't because of what I would suspect it to be. So go for it. Educate.
It is actually in reference to striking workers because they would wear, I think it's striking workers or unionized workers because they would wear, in the coal mines in particular, I believe. Don't quote me, I have to educate myself on this a little bit better, but they wore red bandanas around their necks. So, hence the phrase, redneck. And somebody, unfortunately, took that away from the original meaning and put it to being dumb white person from the South. So the original language, the original wording was, in fact, you're seeing it right now. These comrades are rednecks.
Yeah! Socialism!
Hey, like I said, the South was actually a pretty big hotbed of communist activity, mostly due to people of color. But there were a lot of, as I said, a lot of whites also doing it. It wasn't just the Midwest or industrial areas. So anyway, the prestigious school had not an agenda, but a reason to ignore all that. And it is what it is, but with this issue in mind, with the topic of socialism, and I don't mean social democracy like Bernie Sanders, who unfortunately he as good of a man as he is, I feel he knew better than to attach the word socialism to his campaign because he knows better. If he always tried back in 2016 even, he also tried to make himself seem more along the lines of FDR, a social democrat, which is different from a socialist, different from a communist. This whole thing is just NeoIvan just educating you lovely comrades on the history of socialism, the history of communism in the United States.
It's funny because, again, like, the rare exceptions of what we've been, doing in terms of, trying to just human rights and general civil rights. Oh, jeez!
Nice!
Human rights causes and civil
Well
rights
done.
causes.
Well done.
This game, like, we knew what we were getting into, and we figured anyone who was going to tune in for this particular stream kind of probably figured out that this was going to be one of those social cause heavy streams. I almost said episodes as if we're like a TV show or something, but hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to say. It's like, normally we try to just have one here. We have been trying to, low-key promote social causes. And as individuals, a lot of us are very outspoken about that. We try to, we try to provide a fun escape while also making you vocally.
Yay! Take that.
But this was definitely going to be one of those games where it's like, it wears its social issues on its sleeve, and it does
around
not
its
apologize for it. So this is one of those where it's like, yeah, no, we're doubling down on these kinds of discussions today, because it'd be weird not to, quite frankly. Like, if you approach this game simply as he, it's a riot simulator, he, communism, he, all those jokes about Marxism, he. It's like, you're missing the point, dude. Like, there's a lot of, it's not even subtext. Like, it's very in your face. Like, it is explicit about what it is trying to get out there in a very satirical but still entertaining fashion. Like, as a game, let me tell you, I'm having such a good time. This is so much fun to play.
And this goes to my point. Smash the Union, a newspaper which is owned most likely by a very wealthy individual. I mean, just look at remember there was a newspaper a while back where they was it Vice? was it? There was a newspaper or a news media organization that was independent of the big ones that had their members unionized. I remember people complaining, "Oh God, no," and not the average worker or whatnot, but it was like, you can't let them do that. And then I think the paper got sold or something. They like sold the paper to. God, I don't have my facts right, but I can tell you that if you are fans of the Young Turks, for example, their workers had organized the union and had asked Cenk Uygur and the staff heads to recognize them. They did not. And now they're taking them to negotiations and have brought in a noted union buster to make their negotiations. And
now, before my union starts to go busting some capitalist faces, very important question for you based on the subtitle of this particular headline.
Bodily
Bodily
fluids
fluids have. Is there any historical precedence for this? I'm pretty sure I know the answer.
What is this, the 1950s, where we're trying to find any kind of excuse to hate on human beings because they're politically different? No one has. This sounds like some. I mean, I also want to remove a couple of words and be like, females linked to feminist plot to steal our precious bodily fluids. Like, there's so much that you could do here that could be like, yeah, this is outlandish. This is all this bullshit. But it goes back to the Red Scare. This is a Red Scare newspaper.
Yeah, and if you saw the headlines from the previous one, it's like very tinfoil hat kind of stuff, like very ridiculous, sensationalist stuff. So it's man, they really are just leaning into this and drawing from the historical perspectives that you were mentioning to really make this resonate for a casual gamer who may have only the lightest idea of that particular period in American history, like the McCarthyism period.
Absolutely. And it's get that saw. Take that truck.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I totally interrupted you in the middle of a very important story. So.
No, it's fine. I think I got the point across. Also, I don't remember what I was saying, so.
TLDR, unions, union busting. And...
Yeah, union busting. It's
this union gonna bust some faces.
Yeah.
Go, comrades. Chuck those bricks.
No, it's Hey! Oh, interesting. If you kill the foreman, you get more workers.
Hey!
Which is true.
Over here, proletariats. I'm not losing any more of ya.
No, get back there.
Oh, God!
Nicely done.
Oh, he exploded real bad.
He did.
Anyway, I'm
Which
sorry.
was good.
Go on.
Union buster. I was talking about the Young Turks bringing in a union buster. Ooh, watch out for that tree. And so they're the members of TYT, or the TYT workers, and the management, which includes Cenk Uygur and somebody. Ooh, baseball bat. Bonk. Nah, I don't know.
Scout Wood.
Yeah, exactly. It's the scout from
Home Run.
Bonk. But yeah, no, TYT is engaging in union busting tactics, and it's very unlikely that they're going to ever recognize their union without a fight. And interestingly enough, the workers want to join an existing union. It's the union for it's based in LA or something, but it's a crew, like a lighting, a media crew union. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but you know what I'm talking about. So this is not going to turn into a shitting on TYT, but just pointing that out. Well, that's surprise, motherfucker.
Basically. Where's that foreman?
Oh, he's in the.
Need more comrades.
Oh, he was in the thing. There's two of them. Oh no.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, kill the foreman.
Yeah! Go,
There we
comrades,
go. Hey, we learned something.
Oh, so many
Kill the
comrades.
bootlick-
F in the
kill
chat
the-
for the comrades.
Kill the bootlicking leader and you win. I wonder if the bat will do more damage to that
guy. Let's try to sucker him over to the gas tank.
I hear that. That was a good idea. Ooh, his face is split open.
Leave that unexploded just in case. Oh, never mind. Retreat, comrades. We gotta explode the thing so that they don't use it against us. Anyway, go on.
Oh, well, that's it. Union busting is a thing. It's awful. I mean, the only union that I want to break up are police unions. Mostly because...
Yeah, especially with recent events just kind of highlighting that, you know, over 60 years, there's been, like, little to no change, and there's still this, you know, defiance towards that. Towards questioning authority. It's like, yo, because there's, for me, I feel like there's a very specific role for law enforcement to be taking, and when you look at all these alternate suggestions for how to, you know, basically reform everything, there are a lot of good suggestions for how to distribute a lot of those duties so that, you know, they're not a catch-all that won't always be a good solution, if you catch my drift. You know?
Yeah.
So, like, one of the things that I think is important to making that a possibility is, like you said, you know, disbanding a lot of those unions. Like, there are certain industries I genuinely believe do need unions for their protection, like legitimate protection, from, you know, being abused by the employers. Because, I mean, look at historical precedent for why we had so much unionization during, you know, the industrial era.
Yep. Oh, what was that newspaper?
Oh, I don't know. It just kind of glitched out.
Aw.
But yeah, that being said, you know, police unions, yeah, you know, if they weren't being used essentially as like a shield from accountability.
Yeah. Ooh, kill the foreman.
Try to. Yay!
Hey, Cosmo.
It's our fluffy comrade.
Give him hell, Luke.
Ah!
Ooh, spike trap. Oh, that's devious. That's awful.
You.
Oh, good. It doesn't affect your comrades. It only affects you.
Oh, he's a potential comrade.
There's the foreman. Get him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's awesome. Well done.
But yeah, that's again very ineloquent and very slapdash take because again I'm trying to multitask here, but that's like my TLDR on that particular issue because, like I said, you know, I feel like if properly applied and properly regulated and delegated, you know, you can have some element of law enforcement, but it's not even remotely close to in its current form. Like it very clearly, like over a 60-year period, for all the world to see, like unequivocally. Yeah, like y'all have this shit. Like that's the TLDR.
Yeah. Oh, puppy! How dare you hurt the dog?
Go, my comrades.
Poor man, get him.
Yeah, boy. Welcome to DEE Revolution, comrades.
Yeah. Absolutely. And getting on to the point of the movement towards abolish and defund the police. Policing, or rather, I saw this one video where it brought up an interesting idea about how law enforcement should actually be, and that it should be mostly community-based. And also, but more importantly, dealing with the reasons for why crimes happen in the first place, such as larceny, for example. If you remove the need for people to steal, like if you provide housing, provide food, you have healthcare, you have a job, etc. I mean, think about why the wealthy, outside of white-collar crimes, where they want to steal to get even more than what they already have, the average person who commits such crimes like that are poor because they have no need. They're, you know, they have a need, and society is just not going to do it. It's a sad truth. But remove all the reasons for wanting to do crime in that regard, and you create a kick in the teeth against the causes of it, one of the root systemic causes. Now, there are those who are going to raise their hand and say, well, what about people who commit murder or serial killers? Well, that's a very good question, because there should be specialized units of law enforcement that deal specifically with murderers and rapists and etc. Because those individuals, hey, surprise in the sky.
Oh, and speaking of one of the topics that we keep coming back to, especially when, you know, discussing law enforcement, right
yeah,
here.
The property.
Oh,
absolutely.
Boy.
I mean, one of the tenets of the U.S. Constitution was the French one is life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, but the American one had property in it. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but let me just
liberty and the pursuit of overpriced crap we don't need but we want anyway. Hurrah!
Yeah. You mean amiibos? Oh.
Hey, man. I'll have you know. Amiibos it's the only way I was able to get Punch-Out merch in like
I know.
What, 30 years of Punch-Out.
But I'm also not wrong. I am also not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Anyway,
but the issue of serial killers are not really dealt with by local cops. They're dealt with mostly by the FBI, because they actually have to. Serial killers could cross state lines, and oftentimes law enforcement, depending on the department and where you are, law enforcement may not be able to handle it. And serial killers require, a whole lot of stuff in order to catch, unless they're really dumb, or it's a spree killer. But I'm in favor of having specialized units. Like, I think SWAT is a good idea, but I think SWAT needs to have a very narrow reasoning for being used, like hostage negotiation or counterterrorism activities. And I do mean like counterterrorism, not something like this. You would not bring out SWAT for rioters or for I mean, if these people had guns and tanks and whatnot, then I can't really argue against the conditions for, you need to bring out equally armed people in defense of the state. But that's just me being engaging in Socratic method rather than agreeing with it.
And actually, while I have a moment of pause, just to kind of back up one of your statements. So one of the things I've definitely thought about with this particular scenario of, okay, if you're going to reorganize or, just completely get rid of law enforcement as we know it, like, what would be, some of the limitations you would impose? I would argue, even SWAT, like, yes, I agree there should be a very small percentage of that, but you shouldn't have, SWAT as, like, your as a regular part of your police force. Like, using New York City as a great example. We talked about, I know Gino talked about this at length, talking about how heavily armed the New York City Police Department is. And I frankly think that there is no reason for that. You can argue that, yes, while there is a lot of major, government functionality that happens here in New York, that's why you have a freaking army. Like, that is army. Yeah. You don't need to arm the cops like the army, because if it's getting that bad that you need that level of backup, that's
call in the National Guard.
Exactly. That's why you have those. So that's why I agree, like, especially with the scaling back of, these grandiose and excessive elements of our police forces across the country. It's like, that's what the National Guard, that's what the Army is for. Y'all don't need, like, Joe Beat Cop having, like, tactical armor and, like, stuff that you would bring into a desert battlefield. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no, absolutely.
That is excessive. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't help. It does not help that the U.S. military has been, or rather the military-industrial complex, has been allowed to sell its surplus or just sell military equipment to law enforcement. It's ridiculous. There's no reason for that to ever happen.
Proletarians!
No, workers, no. Yeah,
Actually,
take that.
That just reminded me of another example. So, look at what happened in D.C. the other night with the protests. They were getting buzzed by helicopters. Like, there was legitimate damage being caused just because of shows of force that were, quite frankly, a little bit excessive. Like, on the other hand, when you consider the proximity to the White House, I could see why you would rationalize under normal circumstances why that would be an appropriate response. But, considering who's hanging out there right now, nah.
But also the Secret Service. The Secret Service will take down. I mean, they're good. Don't fuck with them. Do not do that, because they're trained to protect whoever occupies the White House. So getting through to them.
Have you seen all the Has Fallen movies? Like, just assume everybody is Gerard Butler. Like, do not mess with that.
Or Liam Neeson from Taken. Just assume that they're like that.
His character was a Secret Service agent? I never actually saw it.
No, he was it's a very good movie. Don't watch the sequels; they're bad.
Oh, no, that much I know.
No, he was a CIA agent.
Oh, okay.
And it's trained as basically an assassin. But my general point was, you just don't fuck with them. If you can't help it, don't do it. Hey, you unlocked something.
Hey, what did I unlock?
Looks like a med kit.
Yay, healing for the proletariat. Healthcare for all.
So each level can give you an extra little bit. That's nice. I might have to look up a guide and take a look at this, because I will have to catch up to where you are for next week's stream of this when we go back to normal. But I can do it.
Yeah, buddy.
The Wood Reaper ride. Oh my god.
Oh, the satire. Oh, the satire. It is. I gotta applaud this. Like, this is some A+ satire. And again, the actual game mechanic. Like, if I'm looking at this from a purely gaming perspective, this is really, really fun. I am enjoying this game. It is genuinely pleasant to play. And when you add all this other stuff, like, depending on where you are on the political spectrum, you may consider it excessive, but regardless of that, like, if you can just understand that they are being unapologetic about the perspective they are coming at you from, it is still just a damn good game. And you will frickin' learn something, or at least get a good laugh when you see the kind of satire being presented to you, even if you're not taking it even if you're just taking it at face value. So
absolutely,
it's like classic 8-bit GTA.
Are you able to move? Can you run them over?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. All right. Okay.
Oh, I see. It's one of those levels. Okay. Oh, wow. This is awesome. I love this. That is awesome.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't want to talk right now because I want you to concentrate. Oh, wow. So, my God, that's the wood chipper. Don't do it. The proletariats have families. My God.
Oh, my poor proletariats. I'm so sorry. I'm going to try not to kill any of you.
Oh man, the front of your truck is kind of screwed. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah, I literally don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm just trying not to die here.
Oh, don't hit the rocks.
I know. I'm trying not to hit the rocks. Oh, God. Oh, God.
There you go. Yay, you did it. That was hilarious.
For the
Workers from deep Bulik Bayou are now free from the violence and greed of their overseers. By working together and bringing the misguided into their ranks, they seize the bayou for themselves.
You think you've won anything of value? It's just mud, trees, and traitors, you simpletons!
Oh my god, I love it. That was awesome. Well done. That's a very good Cobra Commander voice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, now I'm genuinely sad that we were doing this on the YouTube, because that is a clippable moment right there. But it's okay.
We just need to get this animated by somebody.
I mean, to be fair, the pixel animation here is already pretty top tier. I am happy to just like rip that. Okay,
Whip Let Go win your storage contract for totally safe goo. I hope it's not a white goo, otherwise
move over Sriracha. Oh no.
Move over Sriracha. Hey, how dare you? Sriracha is delicious.
Yeah. Also, I'll take Sriracha over questionable goo. How much you want to bet the goo is explosive? All right, there are the carrier pigeons.
Ooh.
Come to me, my proletarians. Alright, what are we dealing with here? God, I love this soundtrack!
It's very good.
It is.
It's
so
very good.
So good.
How are you missing?
I don't
know. How are you missing?
Well, that got him.
Hey, comrades, I know it's America. We know how to throw baseball, huh?
I mean, I guess. Look, I feel like a lot of these guys are like, you know, former Uber drivers or something. their skill is driving, not throwing Molotov cocktails.
That's fair. I don't know why, but it reminded me of Foghorn Leghorn saying there's something a little about someone who doesn't know how to play baseball. But that's probably just it. Yeah, when I think about that cartoon, it was a jab at how a smart kid just wanted to read books and just wanted to be a smart kid versus an athletic one.
America.
It was just, yeah.
I say, why do you want to have them book smarts, boy? I say you want to be big and strong. I kind of want to just learn stuff. That's dumb, boy. Oh, what the? Oh my god!
No!
Oh my god!
Holy shit! Holy shit! What the fuck? What the fudge?
So
What in Lennon's name was that?
I think we gotta lay off the goo, y'all.
Is that like the stuff? Oh, get away, get away. Can you destroy it?
Gotta get...
Oh.
Oh dear. Okay. Let's see if we can break this. Maybe.
No, it doesn't look like it. At least it looks like it's straight to one fixed point. So I think you're okay. Can you destroy that barrel from a distance?
Actually, I'm gonna lure these guys in. Over here, comrades. No. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait.
Oh.
Oh god. Oh god, why?
Well,
God,
it worked.
why?
It got him. Ooh, hit the barrel.
Please, my comrades, please.
Oh gosh.
They're vomiting acid, y'all. They're vomiting acid. Oh god, why? God, why? We just want to bring freedom to the proletariat. I didn't sign up for this crap.
I know. Where's Ellen? Where's Ripley when you need her?
She's probably bringing him space communism. I don't know. Run, y'all! Run! Oh no! I'm sorry, comrade. I gotta put you down. Stop on me, bro. Okay, so
wow.
we definitely need to avoid these barrels because sweet mother of God.
Oh, wow. Just when you thought this game wasn't going to, pull anything like that, like, nope. But I love it. I'm here for it. Ooh, his face is gone. love it. Get
Don't hit
bricked,
the barrels,
motherfucker.
guys. Don't hit the barrels. For the love of God, don't hit the barrels.
No.
Get bricked.
Nice.
Liberate these
Ooh,
fools.
he got
Yeah.
wrecked. Can you wreck them? Wreck them.
For
Aw.
some reason, that makes me very sad.
Sound like a boot? That's a boot by those things. That's interesting.
Nice. Boots to the ground.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, next up in the dockyards.
Rustic state of docks seen as potential tourist attraction. Dangerous pitfalls, no. Authentic scenery. Reports of dangers overblown. And that brings me to another thing about, you know, broken down home.
Everything is totally fine. So says your commander. I mean, CEO.
You should do the voices for the newspapers now and that, because that's
well,
great.
you know, if they quote Whippleton, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go on. You
What I was saying is that, you know, overdevelopment and turning generally nice neighborhoods into pure places for the rich. Like we've seen that here in New York City for decades, where new affordable housing is just not a priority. The priority is making something for the rich. That's all that matters. And it's all kinds of awful. Because the housing market here in New York City sucks. It's genuinely awful.
And I
It's
say this having done real estate for 9 months of my life. You would know that firsthand. You were like one of my only clients.
I know.
Also,
And
hey, surprise, guys! Some bonus Mario and NeoIvan facts right here on this exclusive YouTube stream.
Woo!
I'm sorry, go on. So, housing market.
No,
that is a fact.
The housing market is basically just forget and screw affordability. It's all about get the cash, build really expensive houses, drive up the market, do all kinds of crazy shit, and profit. Oh, barrels about to explode.
Run! No, what are you doing, guys? Ah! Why are you doing that,
Oh, you're probably too far forward.
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually going to restart this level because that was some BS.
That was horrendous.
Dangerous pitfalls. No, it's authentic scenery.
I love it. That's really good.
So yeah, I've canon made Whippleton Cobra Commander. Probably he's gonna get like some acid on his face, and that's how we get Cobra. So I guess we're. What was the Russian version of G.I. Joe in G.I. Joe canon? I'm blanking on their names. I just read about them the other day.
Well, I told you about them a couple of weeks ago. Let me look that up. G.I. Joe Soviet.
It's like Warsaw Pact or something like that. I don't know. Like, so it's named after that.
Hold on. God damn it, what was that? Oh, it's called the, I think it was called the October Guard.
October Guard. I was like, it's something related to
look that up.
one of those terms.
Large fingers. Yeah, it's the October Guard. It's the Soviet Special Operations Units.
Alright, so
They were
basically
never the villains.
We're basically the October Guard up on this. Oh, careful guys, careful. Don't get stuck behind the explodies.
Yeah, and according to their page on the G.I. Joe fandom, yeah, as I believe I told you, they would team up with Joe, although reluctantly, as both sides probably didn't want to really team up with each other. But, you know, oh god!
Oh god! Oh god! More of the Cookie Monsters.
Oh, gross. these guys are just so gross.
Fire does not seem to kill it. Fire does nothing.
Boo. That's
Brute
bad.
force on the
Ah,
other hand.
that sucks. God, this game looks so much fun. I'm genuinely sad I'm not. Oh, beware the pitfalls.
Oh boy. Well, this is gonna suck.
Can you go all the way to the top?
There we go.
There you go. Through brute force, he managed to win.
The might of the proletariat, and also
Will not
the
be
A button.
denied. The pro A button.
Proletariat. And yeah, hopefully for next week's stream we'll be able to get you back in on this because, man, I genuinely feel bad that you have to ride shotgun on this one because, jeez.
I don't mind. I get to share what I know about socialism, communism, and the issues surrounding the protests and the deep history and all that. I'm happy to do that. I love to try to educate. Deregulation of explosive storage leads to booming profits. There's
Just
another
don't
topic.
touch the red barrels. You'll be fine.
There's also another one, reports.
Oh, reports of dangers are overblown. It's
Now say
totally
mega-
fine.
Now say Megatron.
Megatron?
I still love that Leonard Nimoy was the voice of Galvatron at first.
Yep. That was definitely money well spent.
Yeah, he did fine. It wasn't that bad. I mean, Orson Welles, if he probably helped get the movie, the 1986 Transformers movie, onto the map a little bit.
oh,
Oh
God.
no!
Oh god!
Oh, you're not changing. Yay!
Yeah, but we were on fire and most of my homies are dead. Oh, that was a bad time.
Aw, that's a bad time. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to redo this, but I'm going down
You can
swinging.
do it. I believe in you. These guys are a lot easier to deal with than the Shooty McShootertons. You did it. And now you have bricks.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of these fools before I call on my proletarian brothers. Because, yeah, no. This is just so much instant death waiting for them. There we go. That's right.
Yeah, take that. Hooray, you did it. Good job.
Hooray! Liberation. Alright, everyone take this suspicious pile of bricks. For those of you who are planning to actually join in any peaceful protests, please do not actually take the suspicious piles of bricks. I know
Yeah,
we were kind of half joking about that before, but seriously, don't take this suspicious
No, don't.
piles of bricks. That's not
Don't.
okay.
No, don't do it. It's most likely a trap. It's a reason for the cops to. I mean, they already have tons of reasons for getting in your face. It's because they have quantitative immunity from any actions that they carry out. But this falls in line with don't give them an extra reason. Just don't.
Oh no, I'm on fire.
If you can avoid it,
Avenge me,
do it.
proletariats.
And you have to be careful. You know, don't post about the stuff online because cops will track you, and then they might find you later and arrest you for disturbing the peace, and then scare the shit out of you by taking you to jail and all that. So, if you go to protest, be careful. Be sure to wear a mask, of course.
Especially
Bring-
for safety, because as a casual reminder, in case you somehow forgot, despite all the all the news of reopenings and what have you, we are still dealing with a pandemic. So do wear a mask when you are outside, even if you are just going around the corner to go and grab something from your local supermarket or what have you. And doubly so if you're going to go and peacefully congregate for social change. So don't forget to do that. Also, wash your damn hands.
Yeah, and
casual reminder.
Masks work because there has not been a huge upsurge in COVID-19 because of the protests. Everyone that I've seen in the protests is wearing masks. Wearing a mask really cuts down on the amount of liquid that you naturally spray when you're talking through your mouth hole.
Yep.
And think about it, there's this great meme that I saw which explains how a mask works in toilet humor fashion, but think of you speaking as if you're just going to whiz. You're just urinating. You're just peeing everywhere. You're just peeing everywhere. But if you put on pants, then you're just pissing your own pants. You're not getting it on anyone else.
Yeah, like it might drip around and people will still have to be careful, but you're limiting it to yourself.
Yeah, so...
Also, can you imagine a 45-pound crab claw? Mmm, delicious.
Oh, God, no. By Neptune...
Oh, the reports of danger are totally overblown.
What is that saying from SpongeBob? Oh, Neptune. Well, this will be fun and very ominous music.
I'm sure we're gonna be fine. We're gonna have to defeat a giant enemy crab and its weak point for massive damage, aren't we?
Oh my God, it's a crab battle.
Oh no! Oh no! First we gotta fight goddamn Metal Gear. Now we have to have a literal crab battle. This is...
Yay, puppy.
The things we do for the revolution. I can't eat.
I know.
Alright, proletariat brothers and sisters. Because, we need to be as all-inclusive as humanly possible. Because we are all people. Careful, don't hit the barrels. That will cause you to die. Oh jeez.
Oh, well, you did it.
I had to reinforce my way around, but you got this. Come on.
There you go. You got this.
Ooh, that is a lot of chopped up corpses.
Sure is.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're doing great. Just don't get cocky.
I really hope that guy is doubled over and that's not like half of him.
It sounded like Tina from Bob's Burgers. I can relate, though.
Alright, comrades, let's...
They're coming. Run. Uh-oh. Run. Run, boy. Run.
Oh, good God. Oh, good God. No, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. This is an NBA jam.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Want to be on fire.
Oh, no. Run for your life.
Yeah, about that.
You're doing good, though.
Oh, my God, this is like...
Just brute force it. Run.
I'm sorry, comrades. Forgive me.
You can do it. Just reach there and you might get a checkpoint or something. Yeah, you did it.
Crab battle. Oh my God, actual literal crab battle. Comrades.
Oh, you can call in more comrades.
Crab battle.
Colonel, what's a crab doing here? Oh my gosh. Ugh, this is so gross, but I'm digging it. Oh, that one enemy was there, and it kind of ruined the cinematic of the death of that creature.
Yep.
Oh man.
Whew. I just need a second. That was
intense, man. Well done. Good job.
Ah! You give me too much credit, comrade.
No.
Hello.
It's okay. You and Cosmo lived.
Rise the revolution against all odds. Keeps moving on. Oh god.
Good job.
Christ. Actually, are we? Oh, we're at a boss battle. Perfect, because we have about 15 minutes left in our usual block, so this might actually be a good spot to end once we get through this boss battle. So let's see what sort of ridiculous shenanigans Whipple Co. is going to throw at the proletariat.
Mysterious disappearance of 3-hour tour. Nothing to be alarmed about.
I never would have expected a low-key Gilligan's Island reference in a game about Marxist ideals that is also a really entertaining side-scrolling beat-em-up. What the hell?
Wow. Wowie.
Oh, the sightings of Kraken are red lies. Reports of danger still overblown. Camera!
What happened here? The Kraken.
Oh boy, they're gonna unleash the Kraken.
Somebody get oh, why did I forget his name? From Pacific Rim. Not the hero, the guy we all want to meet. What is his name? Damn it.
Dust.
Yeah, the actor who plays him.
Oh, Idris Elba, yeah.
Yeah, Idris Elba. I knew it started with an I, just, oh no. That didn't look friendly. Maybe it's friendly.
No, nothing here is friendly. Everything is suffering.
This is like a level out of Metroid. What does that button do?
Oh my god, no, why
why?
did you go into the
Why
barrel?
did he-
Why did you
he
go
do
into
that?
the barrel? Oh my god. Oh, wait. I think I get this now.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, obviously it can't go that way.
Sounds. I heard something to the left.
Yeah, I just want to see if there's anything else. Okay. I guess
Just looking at the back.
Ah,
It is
Kraken!
like that creature from.
Oh god! Oh god, why? Oh god, why? I have nothing except my fists and these random barrels. Proletariat homeboy, what are you doing over there?
I wonder if it will come straight to you. Yeah, it's gonna. You might have to lure the barrel over to it. Let's see if that works. Oh, yep. Come on. Come on, barrel. Oh.
Oh, I see. Okay. I have to basically drop it on the... Okay. Okay. Oh, this is gonna suck. I'm gonna have to redo this boss battle.
Probably. Wah. Yeah, stay on that. Oh, good. Oh.
Ah, nuts. Yeah, I need more proletariats. I goofed real hard. Well. It's okay. The revolution shall live again. We will beat this before we end the stream. The revolution lives on.
I love how that ship has been with us the whole time. Oh, we only got one.
This isn't ominous at all, is it, Steve?
Nope.
So we know that that's a dead end.
Yeah, stay on that. There you go. Now let go.
That's right.
Yeah, because you don't have any Molotovs, do you? Oh, so the other swipe can't reach you. Oh no! Look out! Oh, it's a double whammy. Oh, it's a triple whammy.
Oh no! No! Go, my brethren. What are you doing? Get out of here!
Ow! Ow!
All right, my brethren, it is down to you. Oh, this is gonna be a pain in the ass.
I think you just gotta jump over it. Almost, but you got it. There you go.
Yeah,
all right.
Suck it, Kraken.
Oh, and you're getting some health back. Nice. Oh, that's what that health kit thing was.
Oh,
nice.
I didn't even think about that. Okay, so it's regenerative health. All right.
Yeah, it looks like it. And jump. High up. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep, rule of 3. The fight was hard, but the dockyards have been salvaged from the dangers of winter and their toxic chemical storage. The wind-blown snow now signaled the winds have changed. The workers' revolution took over the ports. Yar.
Take my sludge, you filth! You deserve it! You haven't seen the last of me, and you'll never get past the gates of our states! Country collapse!
Oh, I love it. That was really good.
Liberation. Liberation.
Oh,
And on that
that's
note.
it? Is that the end of the game?
No, I was just quitting out.
Oh, okay, because I didn't see the pause menu for that.
Yeah, it just kind of glitched me back here. But that being said, so we're going to wrap up a little bit early because honestly, that is probably the best place for us to stop tonight. So before we start wrapping up, NeoIvan, any final thoughts before we call it a stream?
Well, I hope all you lovely comrades had a wonderful time with us tonight. I hope I was very educational for you. I hope I helped broaden your horizons about the history of the United States and whatnot, give you an interesting perspective. Yeah. Oh, this game is just fantastic. I can't wait for next week already so that I can play it. I was going to say thank you for joining us on Digital Era Twitch, but no, thank you for joining us on this YouTube channel.
Yeah,
if you enjoyed,
right?
yeah, if you enjoyed us being here on YouTube, let us know. Let us know in chat. Let us know on our social media, which Digital Era Entertainment is on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, as you could tell, and Twitter. If you give us a like on this video, I think. Do you likes on live streams? I don't know.
Well, it's going to be archived, so yeah, feel free to give it a like, give it a share, because there is a lot of good information that we hopefully did share for you guys tonight. Most especially the link up at the top. Again, while the rest of our channel has kind of gone back to the usual Digital Era Entertainment promo card, this was a very rare exception because the content matter of this game just kind of lent itself to it, and considering how I personally acquired this copy that we were using for tonight's stream, it just made a lot of sense. By the way, that Ichio fundraiser generated over $8 million, so thank you to all the gamers who gathered together to surpass their $5 million goal by such a wide margin. And there was a lot of cool indie stuff thrown in there too, including a game that NeoIvan actually played on our Twitch channel back when it released, the Kaiju Big Battle game Phyto Fantasy. So, you know, it was a lot of fun stuff, but this was like one of the gems that made so much sense to kind of tie it all back together. So like NeoIvan said, we do have content over here on our YouTube channel. Usually it's long-form videos or more traditionally narrative videos, as well as our video essays from our informative content brand, DEE. You can usually find all that stuff popping up throughout the year. We've been a little bit better about it lately, thanks to Joel G., who is part of our Friday podcast, DEE, our anime discussion podcast, which I'm also one of the co-hosts of. He's been providing us with some wonderful live table reads that we have been archiving on the site as DEE Table Reads. So check those out as those come along, because we are definitely going to make that a monthly thing. So you'll at least have fresh content once a month over here on Digital Era Entertainment's YouTube channel. We're still looking to get more of the traditional narrative stuff that a lot of you guys who follow us here are probably expecting from us. You know, with the COVID-19 situation, obviously, that put a pretty big halt to a lot of those plans, but we're trying to find ways to kind of pick up the slack on that. Again, tomorrow night, regardless of where we hold it, we are still doing our Thursday night podcast, DEE Code, our esports and gaming podcast. That is helmed by our editor-in-chief for the DEE brand, Ken Cardez. And right after that, assuming we will be on our Twitch channel as per usual, RJ Para will be continuing on with some Pokemon content along with Joel G. They started that last week. Definitely check it out. Like I mentioned, Friday, we have our anime discussion podcast. And I will be back on Monday as per usual at my usual spot. Again, pending whether or not we're going to be still back here on the YouTube channel or back at our regular home on Twitch. Of course, keep an eye on social media for all those updates, because today was a great example of why we encourage you to do that, because we literally had to call this audible like 3 hours before showtime, so anything can happen in the wide world of 2020. So I've pretty much wrapped up. NeoIvan, would you like to take us home?
That's expensive.
You say from the comfort of your own home, as I also say from the comfort of my own home.
Hey, gas is expensive out there. I don't know why I said it. It just came straight to my brain. No, I don't have much else to add to it other than on my own channel on Twitch, NeoIvan Gaming. I will return to my normal schedule on Monday, although starting in next week is July. After the holiday, I'm going to modify my schedule a little bit to, instead of streaming 3 times a week, I might bring it down to 2. But next week, I'm going to put Red Dead Redemption's finale on hold as Persona 4 Golden came on out. So I look forward to playing that. It's one of my favorite RPGs, and I'm still mad at a friend of mine who never really explained the game to me, and when I learned that it was a very interesting murder mystery, I was like, what? How dare you? But I'm looking forward to coming back. It's good to be back streaming, even though I didn't do anything except talk incessantly.
I mean, to be fair, you dropped a lot of knowledge today, a hell of a lot more than I would have been able to on this particular topic. So I would say, while I did the heavy lifting on the gaming side, you definitely did the heavy lifting on the edutainment side.
Yes, the edutainment. And if you enjoyed that, comrades, come to my channel on Twitch. My new schedule will probably just be Monday and Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern. And I'll be streaming until probably about 10. But yeah, I will be back to my normal schedule next Monday for some Persona 4 Golden. And I can't wait. Literally, I really want to play this. Please, let me play it. I'm excited. You can tell. We can't raid anyone because this is YouTube. So I'm going to say... Do svidaniya. Sayonara. Well, not sayonara. Jane. Bye-bye. Have a good evening, everybody. Thank you again for spending time with us.